Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. We'll go ahead and get started whenever Professor Nethercutt is ready.
I'm ready to go. Thank you, Mindy. First, welcome to everybody to another in a series of Lunch and Learn webinars. I'm Leonard Nethercutt. I'm a MSOM faculty member. My classes that I teach include the Introduction to Operations Management class, project management courses, and economic decision making and finance for operations managers. I want to thank everybody for attending today. I know we all have busy lives. There's other things I guess we all could be doing. Maybe this is not Cyber Monday, but this is during the shopping season. So I want to thank everybody for taking time out of their schedule to attend. And also a special thanks to the MSOM folks for hosting the seminar and making things possible, the series possible, and that's Mindy Hunter, which you just heard her voice there, and also Mary Price, which is in, I guess, Control Central, that will keep us from encountering any turbulence during the session. So if all of you may be aware that this is a series of webinars, and I hope each of you had the chance to attend previous sessions, the most recent being presented by Dr. Parnell on decision-making biases, Dr. Beam on data analytics, and Dr. Ham on drones and in operations management. They are very interesting, relevant, and captivating content. So with all that being said, I'm ready to go. Let's talk a little bit about the webinar session today. The path. First, we'll look at the PMI Talent Triangle, PMI, Project Management Institute. 3 legs or talent areas that contribute to project manager success. Then we'll move on to look at the online graduate certificate in project management, coursework basically. And then step 3 is connect the dots. What's the relationship between the talent triangle and the coursework necessary to complete the graduate certificate in project management? This is how it all fits together or aligns. And finally, we'll talk a little bit about the Sizzle, or the experience of or coursework experience, I should say. And then a few concluding remarks and time for questions. So if all goes well, I anticipate this should last maybe 30, 45 minutes, but I have a tendency sometimes to underestimate the time that I spend talking. So let's continue to move forward. First, PMI Talent Triangle. Hopefully you can see this. This is from the Project Management Institute, and I'm just going to read the description of the Talent Triangle, and then I'll put my spin on it. The ideal skill set, the Talent Triangle is a combination of technical leadership and strategic and business management expertise. Now, next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to turn my video camera off because I don't want to have any bandwidth turbulence. So just, if you notice that I am no longer visible, it's intentional. Okay, so key takeaway from the PMI Talent Triangle. Project management, talent, competencies are not confined to technical elements. And when we say technical elements, we refer to the triple constraints of time, cost, and performance, or technical requirements for a project. But it also extends to business and strategic management skills, as well as leadership skills. Now, you can also look at this in a slightly different perspective, and it's the what's in it for me view. As a student, you make decisions that are in your best interest. So you can actually restate this PMI Talent Triangle as these are talents that are valued in the marketplace. Some supporting statistics information. And most of this research, these statistics, comes from PMI research surveys. First, 32% of survey respondents consider both technical and leadership skills a high priority. Again, it's a combination of skills that are valued in the marketplace. It also has a statement about strategic initiatives. And yes, I will read this one. Strategic initiatives are how change happens. Having the talent to implement those initiatives successfully, that's a very important word, is the critical capability that gives organizations a competitive advantage to navigate through necessary change. And in our project management class from the textbook, it boils down to a very simple statement. Strategies are implemented through projects. Another survey, and this one was, to me, was kind of eye-opening. It wasn't kind of eye-opening, it was eye-opening. 2 of 3 organizations found the greatest difficulty in finding resources with adequate technical project management skills. This emphasizes the importance of that leg of the talent triangle that includes technical project management. Another statistic, talent deficiencies hamper strategy implementation efforts 40% of the time, according to our study of almost 550 senior executives. So project managers need more than just technical project management knowledge, skills, talents. They also need leadership as well as strategic and business management skills. And we can also look at opportunities. The 3 project management talent areas will help to bridge gaps and lead to creating opportunities and values for individuals. So as you look at future project management jobs or opportunities, the outlook, so to speak, you see that there are many sectors that will participate in a favorable outlook, and the information there is from the job openings due to expansion from over the 10-year period. And in this case, this is across several industries from manufacturing and construction. I won't read all of these, through oil and gas. So it is across industries as well as across countries. So let's take a little more in-depth view of the talent triangle, the specific legs. First leg, technical project management talent. Focus is on the traditional triple constraints of a project. Finish the project on time, on cost, and meet the performance requirements. And typically when you think about the technical elements, in my mind, I think about the PMBOK guide, Project Management Body of Knowledge. And the PMBOK guide presents 5 PM project management process areas. And I didn't list those, but I'll just provide those quickly. They are called the Initiating Process Group, Planning Process Group, Executing Process Group, Monitoring and Controlling Process Group, and Closing Process Group. They can also be looked at as the 10 project management knowledge areas. And these knowledge areas, they provide a little more depth into the technical elements. It includes things like integration, scope, time, cost, quality, HR, communication, risk, procurement, stakeholder management. Now, given the process groups and knowledge areas, PMBOK breaks the, see if I can go to the next page, next slide. PMBOK breaks the activities down into what's called 47 project management processes. In other words, there's even more detail to the PMBOK guide approach, and they occur over the project life cycle. So just to provide some additional insight into the technical project management, I've provided the project life cycle, which includes 4 stages: defining, planning, executing, and closing. And you can also see, hopefully you can see down at the bottom, the activities that occur over the product life cycle. Now granted, it doesn't show all 47 of them, but you do have an idea about the extent and depth of the technical project management elements. Next, whoops, I'll hit the right button. I'll advance the PowerPoint slides. Sorry about that. Let's take a look at the leadership leg of the talent triangle. A broad description, and this is from a PMI. It's actually from a flyer. The website address is located there on the bottom of the slide. So this is a description directly from a PMI. It's a general description: leadership talent, competency in guiding and motivating. It includes several elements, things like team building, conflict management, problem solving, emotional intelligence, coaching, influencing, and interpersonal skills. Let's move on to the third leg of the PMI talent triangle, and that is strategic and business management talent. The general description, again, comes from PMI, business-oriented skills, and it includes things like strategic planning, strategic management, business acumen, industry knowledge, competitive analysis, market awareness, legal and regulatory compliance, benefits management, functional areas, business models, and structures. So as you can see, as we start to break the 3 legs down, there is significant detail necessary in each leg that will contribute to the success of a project manager. Now, what I'd like to do next is to take a look at the graduate certificate in project management. It includes 4 classes. 3 classes are required. 1 is an elective. Required classes include project management for operations managers. Course number is OMGT 5783. I have a tendency to call this the Foundations of Project Management course. And then we build on that in the 5983 class, Advanced Project Management. And another required course is Leadership Principles and Practices. The course number is 5253, and that directly addresses one of the legs of our talent triangle. And then students have to have 1 elective, and they have a choice. They have options: quality management, cost estimation, economic decision making, or organizing for change. Now, if you want to categorize these in terms of how they relate to the talent triangle, you can do this. Project management courses, 5783, the Foundations course, 5983, Advanced Project Management, are related to the technical project management leg of the triangle. And then we also have the other courses that relate or align with leadership and strategic management legs of the talent triangle. They include leadership principles, quality management, cost estimation, economic decision making, and organizing for change. Whoops, don't want that. So let's connect the dots, so to speak. Let's look at how the courses align with the legs of the triangle. The 2 project management courses, 5783 and 5983, align primarily with the technical project management leg. But that being said, they also, to a lesser degree, include content for the strategic and business management leg, as well as the leadership leg of the talent triangle. A little more depth, and I'm going to move through this somewhat quickly. I don't want the session to become too long for us. A quick description of the OMGT 5783 course. I call it the Foundations course. I'm not going to read the description. I'm just going to kind of go through a list here. It includes things like critical path method, PERT, which is program evaluation and review technique, how to plan and control projects, sequencing activities, looking at time cost trade-offs, resource allocation, and scheduling. Again, the primary focus is on the technical project management leg of the triangle. Course objectives. I'm just leave the slide up there for a few seconds and just a couple of words about the course objectives. Primarily the last objective there, which is develop a life cycle project plan including scope, schedule, budget, and risk. In the life cycle project plan, we actually pull together all of the 10 PM knowledge areas in this one particular assignment, which is a very important concept as we look and we cover each of the tools, processes, concepts individually. They aren't standalone, they're interrelated, and we use this life cycle project plan approach to pull all the pieces together and to generate one cohesive plan. The advanced class, you can look at the description there. We apply advanced project management tools to manage troubled projects. We look at determining project status, cost estimations, earned value management. We learn how to perform a project assessment or audit, as well as a project recovery plan. We use case studies to gain experience in communication, status, and recovery of failed and troubled projects. Now, when we go and take just a quick look at the course objectives, and I don't have course objectives for all of the courses, but I teach the project management course and the advanced project management class, so I feel comfortable talking about those course objectives, albeit not in depth. We don't have enough time. In the advanced class, we build on concepts, techniques, tools, processes from the Foundations class, OMGT 5783. We look at several journal articles that are related to causes of troubled projects. And then we use this research to develop ideas, thoughts, processes, and what we need to do to avoid troubled projects. When we say troubled projects, projects that don't come in on time, on schedule, and or meet the performance specifications. And then we take and leverage our project management knowledge by walking through a project, all stages included in the project life cycle. And this includes the use of a Microsoft project. And in this class, the class requires that students join Project Management Institute. They can take advantage of a student membership, and they have access to PMBOK, and we also use practice standards for estimating, earned value management, scheduling, and risk management. So we use a lot of resources from the PMI, Project Management Institute, and apply those in the class. It's an interesting class. Another leg, well, two legs of the triangle, two remaining legs. Leadership, strategic and business management. I've already mentioned leadership principles aligns with the leadership leg. Quality management aligns with both legs. I say both legs. I should say the technical project management leg. One of our triple constraints is performance or technical requirements. So quality management will help ensure that we meet those specifications. And it also aligns provides content consistent with strategic and business management. And then we have cost estimation models. Cost estimation models contains content that is aligned with technical project management, specifically cost estimates for a project, as well as strategy and business management. And economic decision making is primarily related to the selection of projects, and this would go to supporting strategic and business management leg of the project. And finally, organizing for change supports the strategic and business management leg of the triangle, as well as the leadership leg. So some of the courses actually contribute to supporting more than one leg of the triangle. Leadership principles, just a very quick overview. The class covers leadership styles, knowledge areas, competencies, challenges, historical and philosophical foundations of leadership, leadership theory, practice, moral and ethical aspects of leadership are covered. Students that have taken the leadership principles class almost always, well, I'm going to say always, have great things to say about what their takeaways, important takeaways from the class. Quality management covers things like continuous process improvement, use of data and information to guide decision making, Six Sigma approach, statistical tools that can be used to increase success in bringing a project in and meeting the performance requirements. Cost estimation models is geared toward primarily cost estimation. It includes a couple of approaches, the micro approach to cost estimation, as well as the micro. The micro approach is bottom up. The macro approach is top down. The course looks at several techniques for both approaches, and it supports both the business management as well as the technical PM leg of the triangle for estimating cost, which is one of our 3 project management objectives. One of our triple constraints, see if I can advance there. Economic decision making is geared primarily toward project selection, and this aligns with strategy as well as economic justification. Projects must support the strategy, and there must as well be economic justification for the project. So the economic decision making uses things like discounted cash flow criteria, like net present value, internal rate of return, annual worth, is to determine the economic attractiveness of a capital investment or a project. Organizing for change. Organizing for change is related to the strategic business management as well as leadership. I don't teach the class, but I pulled the course description, linked strategic goals to structure, impact of culture on change, gaining executive commitment, stakeholder engagement, developing organizational readiness, and implementing and sustaining organizational change. All are related, are very important to a project manager and support the 2-leg strategic business management as well as leadership. So hopefully this was the connecting the dots part. Graduate certificate in project management courses, they're closely aligned with the talent triangle. The Project Management Institute's talent triangle provides the areas that are valued by the marketplace, and the course are aligned with providing knowledge for each of the triangle legs. All right. My next few minutes, the Sizzle. I was actually watching financial news, evening news, and they had a CEO from a department store on TV, and he was talking about they were actually discussing what clicks versus bricks, online shopping versus brick and mortar stores. And he said something that caught my thinking, and that was that they wanted to drive customers into their stores, the brick and mortar, and provide a good experience. And if they could do that, they could maintain their customer base. Okay, so that got me to thinking. That sounds a whole lot like something I learned many years ago, and that was sell the sizzle, not the steak. So I went back, and it looks like this particular phrase was attributable to Elmer Wheeler, 1937. He was a salesman. So it involves not necessarily the end outcome, but the journey to that end outcome. So I kind of pulled together, and a lot of these things, I use student comments. Students in the MSOM program are required to take a comprehensive exam, and during the exam session, students will mention things that have been particularly pleasing about their journey through the program. And some of these are just things that I said, well, I think these create a good journey, a good experience for students. And I'm not going to go down through all of these. Classes. First, this may be the most important. Classes are aligned with talents valued by the marketplace. Hopefully, if there's one key takeaway from this presentation, that is this particular idea. Second, online classes. The MSOM program has a multi-year track record of online classes. I'm not exactly sure how many years. It's more than a decade, so they have a significant track record. They use the Blackboard learning management system. Well, I guess the sizzle there is it never closes, okay? Or maybe I should say almost never closes. There is time for maintenance on the system, but for the most part, students can access the ongoing 8-week course whenever they want. And the MSOM program does use a continuous improvement approach to its online, both online and live classes, to provide a consistent product using best practices, good experience, and that's quality matters, course rubric and development. What you'll notice is, to a large degree, all the courses, regardless of the instructor, there is a great deal of similarity. Challenging relevant content, and I will mention, blow my own horn here just a little bit, responsive, knowledgeable instructors and administrators. When students have questions, they receive answers quickly, not only from instructors, but also from administrators. I have several stories I could tell, but I don't want to drag this session out. And students get to participate with students that have similar goals from both public, private sector organizations. You may find in the class you have students from military students versus civilian across several industries, across geographic locations. You also have the possibility to network with students in other programs. MSOM, Master of Science Operations Management, MSEM, Master of Science and Engineering Management, and MSE students, Master of Science Engineering students. 8-week course sessions. You start in any session following acceptance process. Hopefully, I've provided the information correctly. If not, Mindy will be willing, happy, I'm sure, to correct me. So I did go through all of those. That is the sizzle, the experience that goes with completing coursework. My pretty much last slide. As I finished my PowerPoint slides, I did a little reflection, and there's actually an overarching theme that's broader than the PMI talent triangle and graduate certificate in project management, even though that's my primary goal. And that is, if you want to change your career path, it's really quite simple. You have to do something, all right? Which actually led me to, I call them the 4 A's of career mobility. Aspire, set a goal, assess, where are you now, and how can you get to that end point, that goal. Next, act, finally, attain and achieve. If you're sitting on the fence, you say, well, I'd like to change my career trajectory. Walk through these 4 A's of career mobility or trajectory. And I would add one more. It's allowed. A-L-O-U-D. I was listening to a CEO on TV, and they were talking about gender pay equality. And the CEO said, if you believe in gender pay equality, make it public. That's the point here. Make your aspirations known to others, okay, whether it's your family, your work. That way you've also set up an environment of accountability. I think it was a Rodney Dangerfield quote, joke. I once had an idea, but it died of loneliness. So if you have an idea, take action on it. Let others know what it is. That way you also have accountability. They may actually remind you of your aspirations, which will keep you moving. All right, MSOM department, you need additional information. There's the website, but I think, let's see. I actually have some information on the online master's program, which includes MSE, Master of Science in Engineering, MSEM, Engineering Management, MSOM, Operations Management. It also includes coursework requirements as well as acceptance requirements. So that's available. And I actually think I might have another slide. At a glance, Master of Science in Operations Management includes online and live course options. Live course options, there's live courses in Fayetteville. Here where I'm at in the MSOM classroom in Central Arkansas. There's also a classroom over in north of Memphis and Millington, as well as Herbertville in Florida. 30 credit hours, 8-week sessions, enrollment periods, tuition. It's a bargain, $289.41 per credit hour. Note, no out-of-state tuition. You can complete the entire degree for $11,000 to $15,000, depending on prereqs. No GRE, GMAT, non-thesis, some other details. If you have questions, you can ask those here in just about 1 more minute. The graduate certificate, project management, online live courses are possible, depending upon your location. 12 credit hours. We talked about the 3 required courses plus an elective, 8-week sessions. You can start in any of those 5 months, August, October, January, March, and May. More details are available as to the specific start dates on the website. Tuition, GPA requirement, and any graduate certificate in project management courses can also count toward your MSOM degree. So, all right, so with all that being said, I'm out of slides. So any questions from anybody? Be glad to answer those. And if I can't answer your question, I will be happy to find somebody that can. If you have Mindy, who is also on the session with me, she may be able to answer those questions. But if not, we can find somebody that can answer the question. So I appreciate everybody attending today. So any questions? Mindy, you may want to provide how to type in the text box, I guess.
Yes. Leonard, can you talk a little bit more about how some of these courses might impact some of the hours required to sit for the PMP exam, or maybe even continuing education or professional development credits?
Okay. Certainly, Mindy, the OMGT 5783 course and the OMGT 5983 course both will qualify for professional development units. And you may ask yourself the question, what are PDUs? It's the requirement by, if you have a certification from PMI, you have to have continuing education. They specify those in professional development units. And actually talked with PMI, it's been a while back. And another one of our instructors participates in PMI at a kind of a consultant type level, I guess I'll call it. And I actually talked with Dr. Richardson about the requirement, and the courses will provide, it's in excess of 30 hours of PDUs, and they will primarily, the PDUs have to come from the 3 legs of the talent triangle. So the 2 PM courses, Project Management for Operations Managers and Advanced Project Managers, will fall under the Technical Project Management leg and PDUs. So for the Leadership and Strategic Business Management, actually that's something we need to talk with PMI about to see if the content that we have in these courses would fulfill PDU requirements for those 2 legs of the talent triangle. So actually that's a great question, and something that, well, we need to follow up on from the PDU requirement for the Leadership and Strategic Business Management leg of the PDU requirements. That's a great question. Thank you, Mindy. But for today, I actually saw a question that, and I could have misinterpreted the question, does today's session, would it qualify for PDUs? And the answer is no, I don't think it does, because there's just not enough substance or coverage in the session. It's mainly informational. Okay, so I don't know if I addressed both questions well enough or not. Yes, Matt, you're exactly right. I think, yeah, I got an email earlier about your question, and yeah, this is kind of more of an informational versus a continuing education session. So I agree with you. I see a bubble. My bubble shows that there are comments, but they're not showing. I will send my slides to Mindy, and Mindy, you can probably make these slides available to anybody attending the session.
Hi, Leonard, this is a question from Matt. He's saying, are they changing significantly with the PMBOK guide? Let me find the beginning of the question. Are there significant changes in the project management courses now that PMBOK is moving to version 5?
Yeah, actually, I think we're moving to the 6th edition. Yes. So we are in the process, several instructors, or 2 or 3 of us. Yeah, we're moving to the 6th edition. Yeah, I pulled my PMBOK guide out just to make sure. So there is some updating, especially in the advanced course, as we move to that 6th edition of PMBOK. So that will be upcoming. It's my understanding this new edition was published here earlier in the 4th quarter. I'm not exactly sure of the date, but there are some updates necessary, and we also have a new edition of the textbook that I don't think it will be incorporated or integrated into the spring classes, but it is something that will be upcoming. Yeah, I think I haven't read the 6th edition yet. I'm currently have a class, the advanced class. That started in October, and we continued with the 5th edition, but it's my understanding that the PMP exam will start to include the 6th edition. I believe it's early in 2017, but that'd be something that would need confirmation. I bet you did. Yeah, James, you're probably not here. That's just a prop. There's nothing in that sack if you're still here. It's just a McDonald's sack. Matt, I don't know if we answered your courses for the spring. I don't know if Mindy has a list of those. I know the advanced course is available. Project management, the 5783 class is offered every 8-week session. It's a core required course for the MSOM degree. So there's no trouble getting that one scheduled. The advanced course has been offered, let's see, 1, 2, 3, last 2 8-week sessions, and I'm confident that it will also be offered the next 2 8-week sessions. We call them Spring 8W1, Spring 8W2. Nick had a question. I don't know if Nick's still here, and that is MSOM and MSEM. So, Mindy, I don't know, can you take that one? There's different acceptance requirement. MSEM requires an engineering degree, MSOM doesn't. So the only way you could get into both is to have an engineering degree in that. But if you did, I suspect that you could, but that's one of those things I tell students jokingly, I'll give you an answer, but if you want a correct answer, you ask your site director or Mindy or whoever your site director is. Slide with the 3 comparisons. That must be a note to me. Whoops, there it is. So, good suggestion, Mindy. Yes, there's a slide there. So if we can send the PowerPoint slides out, students will have access to those 3 programs as well as the requirements for each program.
Again for joining us today, everyone. I do have audio if any other questions come up now. We've still got a few minutes. This project management certificate really provides a good opportunity for those of you who are interested to be able to kind of obtain the certificate alongside with the MSOM degree or another one of these degrees that you see here. So it's a really good opportunity to kind of maximize, you know, the most bang for your buck.
Actually, I hear an echo, but actually that's a good point, Mindy. And some students have told me recently that they were pursuing the MSOM degree when the certificate became available. They had already taken, they were required to take the project management class. Maybe they had taken the leadership class and one of the other electives. So they were actually taking the advanced class so they could complete, I guess, kill 2 birds with 1 stone, so to speak, the 10 MSOM courses and the graduate certificate in project management. I've encountered several students that were taking that approach.